Hey, so I'm just bored and wondering stuff. We're gonna watch a video together for a product on AliExpress, and then I'm gonna explain how it relates to something crazy. Okay, now they call this a cyclotronic, an toroidal cyclotronic toy. We're going back now. You can cause electrons to move in a circle, and that causes funny things to happen as well. And then this blue foggy flashlight beam is actually a stream of extremely fast moving ionized particles causing the air to glow. And if you were to be able to see subatomic particles and also you were immune to radiation poisoning and you stood with your eyeball lined up with that beam, so it's hitting your eyeball directly and you're looking in the aperture, and like I said, in this hypothetical, you're immune to the blindness and the radiation poisoning and stuff, and you can see particles, or particle motion, you would see a spring-shaped travel path, because the magnets in this thing are so strong that the electrons are basically wound up tight into a spring-like trajectory. And then I see. Not relevant. Oh, I mean partially, but mostly not. I need to double check my definition of the word surfactant. I think it means something like soap, but I need to double check. Yep, detergent. Reduces its surface tension. Yep, okay. So they reduce the surface tension of the water and use iron to, I guess, reduce clumping. Let's see. ultrasonic nanoemulsification is a technique that uses low frequency, high power ultrasound waves to create stable and uniform emulsions of tiny droplets. Okay. So, sorry, my cat did not properly cover his poop, Jack. So it's a little stinky in here, which is disrupting my thoughts. But, essentially, a ferrofluid and milk are both emulsions of, or colloids, created by emulsifying something that doesn't mix with something else normally into something that appears uniform on the macro scale, because it's so small that it can't clump anymore because of like weird physics that happens when things get tiny. So that, but I was wondering if you could combine that with mercury. It seems like most of this is about getting mercury out of other things, but what I want to do is to put something in mercury. My idea is that you could create a ferrofluid, which is basically just chunks of iron that are really, really, really small inside of a liquid. But you could make that liquid mercury, because mercury is very, very dense, and iron is very, very ferromagnetic. You seeing where I'm going with this? You replace the ball in that little toy. Well, you wouldn't even use that little toy because it's not powerful enough, but you would get a setup with a similar structure to that little toy, and you would drive ferromagnetic mercury colloids. Or let me check, maybe I don't even need to mix in ferromagnetic material. I forgot what type of magnetism mercury is. No, it's diamagnetic. I hate diamagnetism. Yeah, so we would definitely need to make it into a ferrous liquid mercury colloid. Let's see. So my idea would basically be then to combine that toroidal cyclotron toy concept that I showed you with one of these. This. It's what it looks like. It's a halo of light, but basically we would replace the glass sphere with the cyclotron, and then we would make the primary coil, which is that big giant copper pipe underneath the glass sphere right there. You can see it when it lights up. We would make that a lot stronger. We would actively cool it, and we would fill it with some pretty scary levels of electricity. And then the idea here would be to get a high pressure metal plasma to circulate at an incredibly high speed, like cyclotronic radiation levels of speed. And then we would use the inertial mass, well, the relativistic mass increase from reaching those speeds to create an on and off, a switchable mass. And then we could use that switchable mass to anchor ourselves in empty space and walk across empty space without wasting fuel. Because by increasing our mass temporarily, converting energy to mass, we can push off of ourselves, and then by getting rid of it, we don't recenter like we normally do when we just push mass around in a vacuum. That's all. Okay, bye everyone.